Hello. Welcome to today is day 3 of the social media funnel strategy. I'm sorry that I'm a little bit late. The baby was crying and I wanted to go check and see, make sure he was okay. So I'm going to give you guys just a couple of seconds, see if anyone jumps on live. As you're joining live or in the replay, let me know that you're here. I love hearing that one, that I'm not talking to myself, and two, that what I'm telling you, what I'm giving you is stuff that's actually helpful for you, because the last thing I want to do is waste your time or my time. So I know that today I'm running a little late, so it's okay if you guys have moved on and found something else to do for now. You come back and watch the replay, okay? So today, oh, here we go. Hello. Thanks for joining. Okay, so quick recap of what we've been talking about all week. Monday, we kind of I gave you the overall strategy that I've been working on, learning the past few weeks that has been turning huge results in my business. So I gave you kind of the 30,000 foot view, and what we're talking about is using social media as a way to funnel people into our business. Because again, it's so much easier to reach. There's billions of people on the internet, right? So we're using tools as social media as a tool to drive those people to our business. Yesterday, we talked about setting up, like the things that you need to do to set up before you really start driving people in, right? You want to get your profile set up. So who here has who did their homework? Who went out and kind of gave their Facebook a facelift, or whatever platform you wanted to use? Anybody? Anybody? Let me know if you did. Let me know. A few of you guys asked for some feedback on your profiles, and I'd be more than happy to do that. So if you want that, shoot me a PM or drop a comment below, and I'll make sure to get you some feedback on your profile. So we also talked about yesterday content, what kind of posts that you want to be posting. And let me just get my notes so I can recap here. We want to be strategic with our posts, right? Strategic with our profile, like always letting people know what the next step is. We want to start putting out content that is intentional, that is speaking to our audience, the people that we want to attract. And the way we do that is putting out content that hits at least one of the following 7 things. It either positions you as an expert in your niche, it resonates with your audience, that's a big one. It adds some sort of value, it teaches something, or it motivates, that's number 3. It shows some sort of results, right? Which is kind of tying back into positioning yourself as an expert. It asks for engagement. It is kind of engineered in a way, your posts are engineered in a way that gets people to talk back to you, to either react or drop a comment below, whatever. It has that kind of where people don't want to just read it and move on. They want to interact. Okay, it gives a good hook, which is like something that is appealing to your target audience. It's gonna, like, as they're scrolling through social media, it's gonna be like, whoa, I need to pay attention. What did she say? What did he say? Or it tells a snippet of your story. Okay, so we talked about those. We went through some examples. Oh, good. So we have someone change some things. Sorry, I cannot see who is leaving comments. So I see that somebody did make some changes, and I know that some of you guys did because you were sending me messages. So that was really good. I'm really glad. Okay, so today we're going to move on, and we're going to start talking about, now you've got yourself set up. Hold on, let me get to my notes for today. Okay, yeah, today we're going to be talking about, now you've got your profile set up, you've identified who you want to work with, who you want to, as your customer, your client, your business partner, whatever it is that you sell, you identified like your ideal, your avatar is what a lot of people call it. You've identified your shark, that's what I call it. You know who your shark is. You know what they're after, like you know what problem it is that you're solving. And that's really what it's all about, is solving a specific problem for a specific person. Okay, and now you've maybe even started thinking about, what sets you apart, how you're going to be different from everyone else who's selling something either the exact same or something similar, right? You're going to have an offer around that product. We talked about that as well. So now you've got these pieces in place. You've got an idea of where you want to drive people. Like once they see you on social media, are you going to be driving them to your messenger? Are you going to be driving them to a lead magnet? Are you going to be driving them to book a phone call? Like, whatever it is, to a Facebook group. Make sure that you know where you're funneling people to. Okay, so we've got all of that down. So now we need to talk about, okay, I've got the setup down. So what do I need to do in order to start filling my funnel and growing? Okay, because we talked about the 3 keys that you need to start doing every single day is growing your audience, your community, your following, whatever it is. And then as you're growing that, you're nurturing and building relationships, you're providing value, that's number 2. And then third, we're in this to make money, so we're gonna start making offers, right? Oh, thank you, I'm amazing. So I'm using this software called Be Live, and I don't think I'm gonna continue it because it's just kind of buggy, and I really don't like that I can't see who I'm talking to. So through the software, that's why I have that fancy border up there, and that's how I can share my screen. But for whatever reason, like, it won't let me see who's talking to me, which drives me nuts. I want to know who's talking to me. But so anyways, that's why. Okay, let's see. What was I saying? Okay, so again, I want to hone in because I want everything that we do from this point forward. If you're using social media, I know it's an easy way to get sucked in and just start, like, you're thinking it's a numbers game, and in a way it is a numbers game. I showed you the funnel, right? I showed you how it's 3% are ready today, 67% are going to be ready at some point, and 30% never will, right? So in some ways it's a numbers game. But I don't want you to start thinking that, this is where I see a lot of people get it wrong, is they start to think that, they could use social media for this, and then because it's a numbers game, they just need to start talking to more people, and really anyone who will listen, right? Anyone who will listen. My products, my service, whatever I'm selling will work for anybody, so I can just talk to anybody. And the problem with that is it isn't marketing. Like, that's more like going down the spamming route, right? So what we need to do, again, is to talk to a specific person and solve that specific problem. So if you didn't watch my video, was it last week? I think it was last week. I did a whole video on sharks. So seriously, I use that analogy. So go back and watch that one so that you can really learn about why it's so important to identify, like, really niche down, okay? So when we have our ideal shark, like, we can talk to, what it allows us to do is to talk to a lot less people and get a lot better results. So if you're talking to anyone and everyone, you might have to talk to 500 people to get the same results that you would get if you talked to 100 people that were your perfect shark, okay? So that's the real key that I want you to understand with social media, because otherwise you're going to spend way too much time and not get enough results. You've really got to narrow down who you're talking to, and you want to fill your audience, fill your funnel, your social media funnel, with the right kind of people. Okay, so again, for this to work, you have to know those things that we talked about. Who do you want specifically? Who do you want to talk to, right? Who is your ideal person? How can you solve the problem that they have? Like, what problem do they have, and how can you solve the problem that they have? And then you need to identify and answer the question, why do they need to work with you, buy from you instead of somebody else? Okay, so you need to have those things down, okay? And once you know the answers to those questions, then you can go out on social media and you can be a lot more productive with your time, because you can narrow it down and talk to highly targeted people. You get much, much better results when you're talking to highly targeted people. So for me, just as an example, let me know if it's making sense. I used to talk to corporate moms exclusively. Sorry, I need some water. I've been on the phone all day, which is a good problem to have, because that means I'm doing higher ticket sales, right? But man, takes it out of you. Okay, so I used to work with corporate moms exclusively who wanted to come home and be with their kids, and that was a huge part of my story. And I'm always telling you that incorporating your story is very, very powerful. So I would work with these women, and I would not work with them. I would I would target these women because I could speak to their problems very, very clearly. So, I would tell the story of how I was able to leave my 6-figure job and come home. And I'm not saying that I don't still talk to those moms, because I do. But now, like, that I have really learned more about this, and I've started to really niche down a little more, I want to talk to entrepreneur moms, like women who already have that entrepreneurial mindset. Like, you know, when I'm going out and I'm on social media and I'm starting to make offers, I'm starting to tell people more about what I do, how I do it. Like I'm over, and you guys let me know if you agree with this. Like I'm over talking to those people who is going to ask like if it's a scam, pyramid scheme, right? I'm over talking to the people who don't already understand that business is a financial investment. They understand that and they are okay with it, right? I want to talk to people who are excited about building and growing their business in like a more advanced way. Okay, those in my head, and now that I've niched down, and that's why I believe that I'm getting such good results, is because in my head, those are the people I want to work with. Those are my six-figure earners that I want to partner with. I want them to be on my team. I want to work with them to build their company if they're already happy on their team, right? Because they're going to be successful, okay? And I want to work with people who are going to be successful, right? So that is who I'm attracting now. I'm not attracting the people anymore who are just kind of curious, right? They want to leave their job, but they're not to that place where they're ready to take the step. And I'm not having to convince them. Like when I talk to someone now, especially when I'm on the phone with someone, like I don't have to convince them that funnels are the way to go. I don't have to convince them that they have to invest in their business, right? So the beauty of building your business online and being able to reach as many people as you can reach is that you get to be really picky like that. You get to be really picky like that. Like it might sound brutal, but you get to be picky and you should be picky, okay? If I'm going to invest my time and energy into someone and mentor them or work with them, like I want someone who's going to succeed. So do you see the difference? Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. That's why like now I've like totally shifted and I talk to I talk to entrepreneurs of some sort. That's who I want to attract. Because if I go and talk to a corporate mom who's never run her own business and I start talking about funnels, she's going to glaze over, right? She's not going to understand what I'm talking about. And you know, I'm at the point in my business where I don't want to teach that portion of it. I want them to have a little bit more of that advanced entrepreneurial mindset, right? So I might talk to network marketers, affiliate marketers, or online entrepreneurs who want to add in another income stream, right? So that's who I want to attract now, okay? So just yesterday, I was getting my hair cut. So you see, guys, I do sometimes do my hair. And while I was doing my haircut, getting my haircut, I had two sales conversations while I was getting my haircut, which is pretty cool. One of them was a perfect fit, like a perfect fit. It was like one of those conversations where it was like flowed and it went really well. And one was a really bad fit, a really bad fit. Like one of them, I'm a sweet, sweet lady, but she still was in this place of like having a scarcity mindset. She was still like really nervous about investing in herself. She was just not as far along in her journey that would make it a good fit for me, right? So that conversation ended up being about 16 minutes long because I'm, you know, I can tell this now. Like I'm so specific now about who I want to work with that I can tell very quickly, like when it's not that person. And I wrapped it up and I gave her some really good advice. I invited her to connect, to grow with me. You know, here's some lower end stuff that you can take, you know, here's some free stuff that you can go and you come over to my group. And of course I'll help, you know, help her. I'm not trying to be like mean or anything, but she isn't ready for my business yet. And I want you to start thinking like that, okay? You want to know who you want to sell your products, your service, you know, your business to, and who you don't, right? So you want to be selective. So you want to talk to people who are already trying to fix the problem that you help solve, right? And they are going to be perfect for you, how you uniquely solve it, okay? So what you want to do, and you can do this through social media, which is the beautiful part, is that, you know, you can separate the curious people from the committed people. How many of you guys, let me know, give me a emoji or a hands up or something in the comments if you're tired of talking to curious people. Because curious people aren't ready to pull out their wallets, right? So that's what we want to start doing, is separating out the curious from the committed. That's our job. Our job is not to convince or strong arm or push people, because it doesn't work anyway, and we end up getting burnt out. We think this isn't working. So we want to use our social media to attract the right kind of people in. Okay, so that's why I talk about funnels so much. That's why I talk about more advanced stuff like building a brand, because that's who I want to attract in, right? I want to attract in people who that's already attractive to. Does that make sense? Okay, so you find your thing. My thing is funnels, and that's how I make myself unique. But you find your thing, and that's what you want to talk about. So that's what you want your content to be about. And as we go into today on what we need to do on a daily basis to grow our audience, you want to keep talking about your thing, right? You want to give advice on your thing. You want to help people, provide value, teach them a little bit on your thing, because that's going to appeal to some people and it's going to repel the rest of them. And you want to do that. You want to kind of polarize your audience that way. Okay, so if someone has no interest in building their business with funnels, they probably shouldn't be in my Facebook group. They probably shouldn't be on my email list. They definitely shouldn't be working with me, joining my team, or buying Clickfunnels from me, right? So does that make sense? So you got to know your thing, what makes you unique, and the specific problem that you solve. And then now it's time to go out on social media and get in front of the right people, the people who are already trying to do that thing, right? And the great news is that those people, they're congregating together out there right now. They are. They absolutely are. Like, people who are serious entrepreneurs trying to build their business, and they want a different strategy, or they want the more advanced strategies that are ready to, have that level of support that I provide. They're out there, and now they're kind of flocking to me. This group is growing like crazy. My email list is growing like crazy. I'm getting people reaching out to me all the time. And so it's more further proof that this works. Like, okay, so people who desperately want to lose weight, right? And they're trying different diets, they're trying different products. They are out there and they're hanging out together, okay? People who, the people who are actually ready to leave their corporate jobs, like they're actually taking steps, they're Googling, they maybe tried a couple business things, they maybe haven't found the one that fits with them, for them, or the one that they're good at, or that they love, but they're actively trying to leave their corporate job. They hang out together too, okay? They've taken the steps that separate them from curious to committed. And those are the people you need to get in front of if that's your thing, okay? So I was talking to someone the other day who wants to work with like seniors, like older people who are like towards the end of their career, who are worried about retirement, and they want to start building, an income that way. Like, they hang out together. Like the seniors who are actively trying to be proactive, right, and build, side businesses and side hustles so that they set themselves up for retirement. They're hanging out there together. So just like, like my target market, which is entrepreneurs who are ready to take their business to, 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, they are hanging out together too. So whoever your target market is, who is already trying to get the results that you provide, they're hanging out together. And that's where the magic happens. That's where the magic happens when you start doing paid advertising as well, because you're going to target them. But you can target them with free organic traffic, because you just have to find out where they hang out, right? Does that make sense? Okay, so we're going to find out where they hang out. That's part of what we're going to do today. We're going to find out where those people, your perfect sharks, are going to hang out. And then when you can get in front of that audience and you dangle your perfect bait that is designed for your perfect shark, it's going to be irresistible for them. Like, they're not going to be able to resist it. And that's when they're going to interact with you. They're going to follow you. They're going to engage with you. So what we want to do is to find out where our sharks are swimming, right? Our special, unique sharks, right? We want to engage with them. We want to friend request them. We want to message them. We want to engage on their posts. It's kind of like think of it like being like omnipresent, right? Because we want to like keep us on their minds. Does that make sense? So we want to engage on their posts. We want to interact with them. We want to encourage them. We want to love on them, right? we don't want to get caught up in like the short-term goals because we're working on filling our funnel, okay? And don't get me wrong when I say that. A lot of people are like, oh, that sounds like a lot of work for somebody who might not ever convert. And so don't get me wrong, like we're also looking to monetize, and we're looking to monetize quickly. We're looking to, remember, the 3 activities I want you to start doing every single day is grow, nurture, and make offers every single day. So think of your funnel, right? Again, go back to Monday when I really went over this in detail, but 3% of people, only 3% are going to be ready to buy today. Okay, 67% are going to be ready at different times. Some of that 67% might warm up tomorrow. Some of that 67% might take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 6 months, whatever. Like they're going to be ready at different times. So if you're only out there looking for the 3%, you're leaving serious money on the table. The 67% is where it's at. And I heard a really good way to look at this to kind of drive it home. So if you had a room full, if you're a car dealer, right, you sell cars or whatever, if you had a room full of like 200 people in the room, and you ask them to raise their hand if they're ready to, if they're in the market and they're ready to invest in a car today, how many do you think would raise their hand, right? Maybe anywhere from 3 to 6, right? People out of 200 are actively looking to buy a car today, right? So the rest of that room, the other 67%, or the other, what is it? Whatever. I'm terrible at math, even though I'm an engineer. Okay, so if 6 people out of that 200 are ready to buy a car today, the other people, do you think at some point in their life they're going to be ready to buy a car? Yeah, right? So if you only focus on those 6, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, okay? Because some of that 200 might be ready to buy a car next week, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, right? So if you take that example and you start to think about how we're going to build, like on Facebook, let's just use Facebook as an example. So if you're building your social media connections, like on Facebook, like Facebook has a limit of 5,000 friends, you know, whatever. But if you build to 5,000 friends and they're highly targeted friends on Facebook, and you're consistently showing up and you're consistently giving them value and showing what you have to offer, what you're bringing to the table, like what is 67% of 5,000? That's huge. What would that mean to your business? You guys let me know. Okay, so let me know. Interact with me on these comments. Let me know. Yes, makes total sense. Fire! Yeah, 67% of 5,000. I mean, even 3% of 5,000 are going to be ready right now, okay? And if you're constantly bringing in new people, that means there's always going to be that 3%, right? And there's going to be more and more of the 67%. So the key is to make sure that those 5,000 people, or those, you know, I mean, I think I have friends on, I only have like 1,500 friends on Facebook or something, right? But you want to make sure that as I'm growing my Facebook, I only am accepting new friends who are my perfect shark. And I know that sounds brutal sometimes, but it's a business tool now. And I see the power of it. I've made a lot of money already from it. So I don't want to waste my time on those who aren't my perfect people, okay? You'd have to get 50,000 people if you're just targeting everybody and their mother, right? So I want you to really niche down, okay? So what I want you to do today, what we're going to do is we're going to go and find out where our people, our sharks, are hanging out already. Yeah, okay, great. So, sorry, I cannot see who's commenting. That really frustrates me. So we want to find out where they're hanging out. So I want you to think of, go back to the specific problem that you're solving and what makes you unique. So let's say, for example, you are into weight loss and you specialize in a keto diet. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up. Okay, so keto diet's your tool that makes you unique. You're looking for people who are interested and actively trying to lose weight. So what you might want to do is you might want to do some keyword research, and I can give you a link that's pretty cool to do some research to see like how to find where they are. But what you can do is you can start to to list out some other what I call vehicles that they've tried. Okay, so if someone who's trying to lose weight, what other things have they tried? What products have they tried? What other kind of diets? So maybe they're trying Weight Watchers, or maybe they are they're doing low carb, or I don't know. That's totally not my field, so I can't really, but maybe they're, I don't know. You guys get the point, right? So you want to go out and kind of find, it's almost like your competitors, right? Not the people necessarily, but like the vehicle. And what you want to start to position yourself as, like, your vehicle, the keto diet in this example, is better than the vehicles that they've been trying. And the reason that they have failed is not because of them, it's because of they were in the wrong vehicle. So, I always say, it's like, get out of your Toyota and get into my Ferrari. And that's kind of the message that we're going to start to tell these people. But we're not going to just drop our links. We're not going to tell them, oh, that's stupid. We're not going to do it that way. We're going to be more strategic. We're going to tell them more about our story. Maybe, we're going to entice them with results. We're going to give value, right? We're not going to be spammy. So that's how we're going to do it. But we first need to find out where they're hanging out, okay? So for me, I'm targeting, and it sounds like a bad word, but I want to build my audience full of entrepreneurs, network marketers, affiliate marketers, or entrepreneurs who are looking to build an additional income stream, a passive income stream. That's where I want to target. So I would go out and I would look. So what I want you to do is come up with whoever you want to go look, and you just start looking for Facebook groups. I mean, you can literally get on Facebook, go to the groups tab, and search keywords. Okay, so if you're doing keto diet, you might search paleo diet. You might search Weight Watchers. You might find out who are the people that your sharks might already be following. So maybe Jillian Michaels, or I don't know. You know what I mean? Let me know if that makes sense. So what I want you to do is to go and find those groups and then join them. And it doesn't have to be Facebook. Like LinkedIn has groups, Pinterest has groups. Probably all the social media platforms have groups. I don't know about Instagram. I'm not familiar with them. But it doesn't matter. Like, they are for sure following certain people. So I know on Instagram you can follow people. So who are they following? Like, find out where they're hanging out, and then go join those groups. So I'm just going to use Facebook as an example because that's what I am using the most at the moment. So go join those Facebook groups, okay? And you can join as many as you want. Just join. And then on Facebook, a lot of times you have to get approved before you can see what's in the group. If you don't have to do that, then don't join until you make sure it's a good group. And when you're accepted into these groups, what I want you to do, let's say you join 20 groups, right? That 20 groups is way too many to have to keep up with. So I want you to go through those groups, and I want you to rate them. I want you to make sure, like, just, do like a scroll through on the content. And I want you to make sure that those are in fact your people, okay? So if it's a spammy group, a lot of network marketing groups, affiliate marketing groups are very spammy. I don't want to be a part of that. That's not my people. So I leave. As soon as you see something, in the group, if the culture isn't what you want, if it's not engaged, if people are mean or rude, or, you want to make sure that it's not spammy. Leave that one right away, because that's not going to help your business. You want to make sure it's engaged. People are posting, people are engaging, talking to each other. It's got a good culture, and it has the people in it. You can see that it has the people that are actively trying to solve the problem that you help them with, and you have a different vehicle to help them, okay? So I want you to find 3 to 5 of those that are the best groups. And it depends how much time you want to dedicate to this. So I found 3 right now that I'm actively engaged. They're my perfect people. They're in those groups. They're actively trying to build their businesses, but most of them aren't using funnels yet. Okay, so they're my perfect people because they're putting in effort. They are showing that they have that entrepreneurial next level mindset, but they haven't actively tried my vehicle yet. Does that make sense? So once you have those down, that's where the magic starts to happen. And that's where you're going to spend a little bit of time every day. Okay, so that's where you can start messaging people, you can start adding friends, you can start engaging with people, leaving comments, helping people, like genuinely helping people. You can leave little bits of your story, you can hook people. So I don't want you to think promotional at this point, because it doesn't work that way. So no spamming, no spamming. We're gonna do marketing. We're gonna do attraction marketing. We're bringing them, we're getting them curious so that they come check us out, okay? So a lot of social media people will tell you just to go in those groups and start friend requesting everybody. I don't do that. Others do. It's totally your choice. But what I do, this is just what I've been doing and it's working really well, is I will go into these groups at specific times of the day, and I set a timer, because I don't want to get sucked in too much, right? And I'll set a timer for 10 minutes or whatever. I'll go in there, I'll scroll through, see if people are asking questions that I can help with. And I always try to say a little bit about funnels, right? Because that's my secret sauce. I'll engage with them. You know, I might post and say something about, you know, either my results with funnels or something about funnels, or ask a question that lets people know, like, I'm working on an advanced strategy. I'm just creating curiosity. I'm never promotional. And then what I do is, as soon as somebody engages with me, like whether they comment on my post, they not really like it, they have to engage a little, they have to take a little bit more step for me. They have to like take some sort of action, right? So they comment on my post or whatever. Then at that point, I will friend request them and send them a message. Okay, so if they comment on my post, if they come over and they check me out or whatever, like that's when I'll add them, that's when I message them. That's what I do, because it feels really good to me, because they've taken a couple steps. They've shown, like, they kind of raised their hand and said, yes, I'm interested in what you have. That's how I do it. And I want you to come up with, so you come up with your strategy. It's totally whatever. People have lots of success with just adding a lot of friends and messaging people. So you pick your strategy, and then you come up with your number. And the number that I mean is, like, I want you to have a goal of growing your audience, your following, your email list, whatever, wherever you're building your following, your community. I want you to have a number that you're going to grow by every day. And you can start small, even if it's one person a day, and then you get bigger and bigger. And I want you to pick a number that's going to seem like a little bit of a stretch for you, and that's where I want you to start focusing your efforts and, like, creating this, okay? And what will happen is you're going to get some people that are going to start friend requesting you, and then you don't even have to do that, and messaging you. And that's it didn't really take that long for it to start happening to me, because they see your posts, they see your comments, and then they click over to your profile and they're like, oh, interesting, because you've got your funnel set up. That is how I've grown my Facebook group to 350 people in 2 weeks. That's how I've grown my email list by, I think, 400 people in that same time frame. That's how I've upped my sales, like doubled my sales almost. That's how I'm getting new people, the perfect people, asking me if they can come join my network marketing team or get more information, right? So I came up with a number. I wanted to add, when I first started, I wanted to add 30 people a day to my friends list. That was my number, right? And so I would look for these people. And now I don't even have to hardly do it, because I'm getting friend requests. I'm getting more than 30, but now I upped it to 50, right? So I want to add 50 people a day to my friends list. So some of that is happening for me. I don't have to do it anymore. But then I'll go out there, and what I'm looking for, because I will flat out deny friends now, because I'm looking at it as a business tool. I'm looking at it as strategy. So I'm looking to add people who, in my case, just as my example, like I can see that they've got a business. I can see that they're trying, but I can see that I can provide value to them, right? So if they are a 7-figure business and they've got a whole freaking team of people working for them, they probably already have a funnel. They probably might not know what a funnel is, but they got a whole team that does their funnels for them, right? So it's unlikely that that person's going to become a lead, because they don't have the problem that I'm trying to solve. Does that make sense? So if you're trying to sell weight loss, that's such an easy example for me. Or if you're trying to sell travel, let's use that one. you're trying to sell travel and you're looking for leads, you're probably not going to be successful selling travel to somebody who is already traveling every other week, right? So think about that, because you want to make sure that you're adding the right people. And you can add more people than that, but the people that you message, because that's the time intensive part, right? They have to fit those criteria, okay? And then add that amount of number of people per day. So if you're looking for rapid growth, hello, hey, thanks for joining. You guys let me know if this is helpful. If you're looking for rapid growth, I want you to pick somewhere between 30 and 100 people a day. And I know that sounds like a lot, but you can totally do that. I started with 30, and I'm telling you, I didn't spend more than an hour and a half a day doing this. So I'm gonna inject one of my ninja tricks for Facebook that I found out. You know, on Facebook, if you start friend requesting a lot of people or messaging a lot of people, they'll actually put you in Facebook jail, because especially if you're copying and pasting a message, which, you know, you shouldn't copy and paste. You should use like the same amount of, like a kind of a general script, but not the exact same. But anyways, ninja trick is that if you do some of this adding friends and messaging from your phone, there's far less restrictions. So if you're on a desktop, you're going to be shut down by Facebook a lot sooner than if you would be on your phone. So what I time block, and I do this. So when I'm looking to start adding 30 friends, like in the beginning, I would do it all in one time block, because that's just how I like to work. And so I would go look for friends, friend requests, look for friends, friend requests. And then Facebook would kind of be like, hey, slow down, Missy. And what I learned, what I found out was that if I did it from my phone, I could get a lot further. So that's a ninja trick of the day. I'm going to have a lot more of those ninja tricks for you tomorrow. So if you want to add or to grow by 30 a day, just know this: you're going to have to friend request more than 30, because some people aren't going to accept your friend request. That's fine, because others will. Some of them, they accept your friend request, but then you message them and they don't message you back, and that's fine. Others will. So what I'm doing now, and I know this is like seems far out there, like if you would have told me this a while back, I'd been like, that's crazy. But I'm actually going through it, and I'm if people don't message me back like within, you know, a few days or whatever, I just don't go ahead and delete them, because they're not taking that step, and I don't want to waste my time, and I'm not convincing people. That part of my business is over. I'm not strong-arming anyone. So I want the right people, right? So, and when I'm messaging, and you know, you can message people however you want, but you're going to be able to tell, especially when you get into this now, like I can, just from my messaging with people, I can tell if they're ready to take the next step with me, or I can tell if I need to build a little bit more relationship. And what's cool is if you really do this correctly, they're going to, even if you're just messaging them and talking about, you know, whatever, being an entrepreneur or health and fitness, whatever it is, like they're going to pop over to your profile, and they might take that next step on their own. Like there's people joining my Facebook group that I've never talked to, and that's good, because that means my funnel's working, right? And then even if they don't take that next step, they're popping over to your profile, and they're like looking at it, and they're like, wow, this is interesting. And they're going to start lurking, right? They're going to start watching you until they are ready to take that next step, because 67% of people, they need a while. They need to think it through, right? They need to process it on their own and come to the decision themselves, right? So the more that you have them in your zone where they can like come in and get to know you, get to trust you, get to see that you're in a Ferrari when they've been stuck in a Pinto or whatever, then they're going to take those steps. Does that make sense? Okay, so your homework. Okay, so you're still posting content every single day, multiple times a day if you can, right? That hits one of those 7. So you're going to continue to do that. That's really important. So that's going to be continuing everyday homework. But today's homework is going to go out and find those groups or those places or those, you know, pages or, you know, followings. Find where your people, your ideal person is hanging out. And I want you to start, like, to go join those groups. Make sure that they're not spammy. If it's spammy, leave the group. It's not worth your time. Make sure it's got your ideal people. It's got a good culture that, you know, your people, like the people that you want to work with, like they're there. You can tell just by the way they're talking. And then you're going to start to pick 3 to 5 of them, depending on how much time, right? And you're going to start to engage with them. You're going to start to grow your audience and build your friends list, nurture them, and then you're going to start making offers. And it won't happen overnight. Sometimes it does, right? Because 3% of people are going to be ready right away. But like once you get this process started and your funnel starts to fill up, you'll find, and this is where I'm at now, it's a beautiful place, because you're going to find that every single day there's going to be someone to make an offer to. There's going to be someone who's ready. There's going to be someone who reaches out to you and asks, how can I take the next step? How can I join your team? How can I buy that product? How can I get mentored by you? How can I buy your course, your service, whatever it is. And that's the beauty of it. So that's what, don't look for overnight success, but think of it as like your long-term strategy. And if you just keep it going, you're never going to run out of people to make offers to. And I want you to get to the point where every single day you're hitting those 3 things. You're growing your audience, you are nurturing your audience, but you're also making an offer every single day. You're putting an offer out there some way, individually, in a group setting, however that looks like for you, but you're making an offer every day. And just think of the difference in your business, like what your business would look like a year from now if you made an offer somehow every single day without being spammy, without, I'm not talking about dropping a link somewhere. That doesn't work. That does not count as making an offer, okay? Is dropping a link because it doesn't work, okay? So does that make sense? So that's your homework for today. And tomorrow, I'm going to come on and I'm going to show you some ninja tricks that I found out this week, that a way that you can actually keep track of all these leads. Because, right, if you're talking to 30 people a day, that's a lot of people. And, how you can actually keep track of them so that you don't let like a hot lead fall through the cracks, okay? And then I'm going to show you some cool ways that I didn't know until a couple weeks ago that I've kind of learned this, that you can be strategic with your time on Facebook so that you can, how to make the Facebook algorithm work for you so that it pushes your content out to more people and the right people. And then how to engage with the people who you can tell they're warming up, right? They're engaging on your posts, they're messaging you, you've got this relationship going, how that you can actually engage with them on Facebook so that it's like, you're like omnipresent, right? You're always in their heads, right? So I'm going to show you that so you can also use your time wisely, because I do not want anyone on social media all day long, okay? Let me know if that makes sense. And next Monday, be watching for this. I'm going to be talking about how to do a paid prospecting funnel, because that is another way that you can bring highly qualified leads in. And how cool would it be to get paid making money, or at least breaking even like on ad costs or business expenses, and finding highly qualified leads at the same time? It's magical. So I'm going to be talking about paid prospecting funnels next week on Monday. So make sure you tune in for that one as well. But from now on, I'm using my automated funnels that are out there working for me 24/7, but I'm also using my social media funnel to bring people in as well. And why not do both, right? Let's keep our funnels overflowing with people so that we make more money, we spread our impact, and we hit our goals more quickly, okay? Does that make sense to you guys? And if you're struggling with, if you're still struggling with like creating your brand, and being able to wrap your head around what kind of content to put out, how you differentiate yourself, and how in the world you could create an offer around your product that makes you different from everyone else who is out there selling the exact same thing or something very similar, then I really want to encourage you to grab my course that's on sale this week, because it is going to go up in price next week. It's $37 right now. And it really dives deep into that. So it really walks you through the process of how to tell how you're unique, one, how you can set yourself apart, how you can offer more than what your product is, and also how to start to incorporate your story that makes you unique into selling and making your offers. So you're selling through your story instead of, dropping a link, right? Which is a lot more effective anyway. So make sure you grab that. I'll drop it in the comments as well. Just a couple more days until I bump up the price on that one. So grab it if you want to really dive deeper into this and really take it to that next level, okay? So let me know your questions. Was this helpful for you guys? So this is going to be your daily mode of operation, your DMO, okay? You come up with your number, you're going to have your highly targeted groups, you're going to pop in there, you set your schedule, pop in there 10, 15 minutes in the morning, 10, 15 minutes at lunch maybe, 10, 15 minutes in the afternoon. That's all it takes. And then make sure you keep up with your content on your personal profile, your business page, wherever you're driving people to, okay? Does that make sense? That's it. So you can really do it all in an hour or so a day. And the messaging part of it, there's different ways you can do it. You're going to get better at it. If it'll be helpful, I can definitely go over some kind of my messaging strategy with you at a different time. Kind of tell you how, what I say. People get hung up on that. But don't overthink it. You're just building relationships with these people. Don't think of selling to them on the first message. It doesn't work, okay? So let me know, you guys, if you have questions. I don't see any questions. Oh, wait, let's see. Oh, no, I don't see any questions coming in. Drop your questions so that I can come back and answer them. If you're watching the replay, let me know that you were here. Let me know that this was valuable, because I certainly don't want to waste your time or my time. So if it's not valuable to you, then I won't talk about this subject again in the future. Tell me what would be helpful to you, okay? So I'll come back tomorrow. We're going to talk ninja tricks on social media. We're going to wrap this series up, and then next week we're going to go and talk about paid prospecting funnels. Yay! Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll be talking to you soon.